Hi, everybody. Welcome to this segment of Cosmic Wisdom's Sacred Earth. My name is Mari Mendoza, and this segment is all about summer solstice, the solstice sun, and keeping your eyes on the divine. So, if this is your first time viewing this or coming in on this, welcome. I am an energy healer. I am have been for many, many years working on lifting my frequency, doing shamanic healing, energy work, sound. I'm a sound healer, artist. I'm in my studio right now. One of my paintings behind me that I'll talk about a little bit later in the program. But and so many other things. I have traveled this journey, stepped onto this path 30 years ago and had a lot of healing to do. I needed to really clean up my frequency and heal old trauma and wounding, and that's how I stepped on this path. I was invited into native healing circles with many different indigenous elders. I stayed within a sacred hoop, one of the first ones, with an Iroquois Seneca grandmother, Amelie, and stayed within that medicine hoop for 15 years, earning the right to the rites. I had many medicine dreams and lucid dreams and initiations in my dreaming, and also in real time physical, and so have been wandering and traveling and celebrating around the equinox and solstice every single year since then. And I remember the very first circle that I sat in on beautiful Cape Cod. I was surrounded with beautiful people, the beautiful green all around, the ocean in the background, children. And frankly, I was a little bit feeling like I was out of my element, but there was something prompting me inside to just do this celebration. And as so many other times before, I had been with elders. I stepped in and immediately it clicked on, and I remembered who I actually was. And that is the path of awakening, initiation, is to slowly clear the veils and allow yourself, wherever you are, if you're just joining, if you're just waking up, if you have been on this path many, many, many moons, that this is a time for celebration and to tune in to your soul energy and let the soul lead and allow yourself to remember what it is that you're doing here. You know, there are many who will do the density, what we call the density dance, where they're just doing the white picket fence and job with the benefits and all of that. And then there are those who really want to reach within and climb up and open into consciousness, open into higher levels of connection. What is this all about? Why am I here? Your soul purpose, all of those things. And so you might be anywhere in between that. But every day is a journey. And in this moment, it's so, so very important to be fully in your presence, fully in the here and now in this space time continuum, as some will say, to be present and connect to who you actually are, a vast being of light, and to remember yourself and to hold the love and gratitude and reverence for this moment. It's most important and is celebrated on solstice. Always. Solstice is always a celebration of the energy of the planet, Pachamama, Earth Mother Gaia, the abundance and lushness of the growing season. In the Western Hemisphere, it is all about it's all about the sun and the gateway of the sun. And so we're here to celebrate and to open, and every year is a different energy as we're evolving. The planet is clearing and releasing much and opening into new levels of consciousness. And as you can experience by just going out the door or turning on media, that there's a lot of shifting and changing in the last few years. Certainly, there's been a death of an old way of being and a real fight and struggle around that, and the emerging of a new level of consciousness that has been waiting to emerge. And many people have been preparing for this, doing ceremonies and raising their frequencies and releasing and clearing and healing the past, letting go of trauma, letting go of wounding, lifting out of ego, moving into higher presence, into the witness, into the fifth dimension, into compassion, and higher into non-judgment of the seventh and the ninth. And so as we raise our frequencies, we're able to tap into these different levels of consciousness. And this painting behind me, this is one of the paintings, one of the cards of my quantum healing deck, what Cosmic Wisdom Sacred Earth. This painting is the gateway of the sun, Inti. And it's also the portal of the sun. There are many energies around this. If you notice the jaguar and the flower of life pattern, and the energy of Sekhmet, and at the very top, that is the gateway of the sun in Tiwanaku, when in Peru, in Bolivia, I'm sorry, when I first started journeying, going to sacred temples. That was a powerful time of awakening. And many of you are doing that, traveling to sacred sites or beautiful lakes or sacred land and connecting and opening up. The sacred temples are the doorway and gateways that were built eons and eons ago to leave us uh, kind of like a library and a record of how we could access higher levels of consciousness. So, in the gateway of the sun, and in um, Egypt, that gateway, the portal, that beautiful. If you notice, there's the second stairway is surrounded by what are the horns of Hathor. Now, Hathor has certain symbols and energy to it, but the beings of Hathor were 12th dimensional guardians of sound. And in Egypt, the sound codes were all over the temples. Sekhmet, the guardian, when they have these beautiful solar discs over and touching the crown, that means that they are solar consciousness, that they're fully embodied in solar consciousness. So our great galactic sun, planetary sun, our personal inner sun, that is what this is all about, is connecting and aligning through all of these pieces. So it was said that many guardians came through these portals. Many higher beings came through these portals to help and assist us, to show us. And ancient people in South America and in India and various different places on the planet were open already and never shut down that knowing. They were connected to the earth and the ancient teachings and the ceremony and being in rhythm with nature and the cycles of the sun and the moon and the galactic cycles and the cosmic cycles. And we finished just recently a galactic cycle, and we're going to complete a millions of years old cosmic cycle as well soon, I believe in 24. So we are really in a grand dance of many energies and potentialities. And how we choose and how we hold our focus and our attention is really, really key. So the celebration and connecting into the portals of the sun, the summer solstice sun here in the northern hemisphere is the longest day. It is the peak energy of the growing season. It is the energy of life force. Without the sun, we wouldn't last very long. It's energy. It is so much more than we actually really know. It is a portal and a gateway. And many of the different paintings and hieroglyphics in temples left codes so that we could connect with them and remember. And in a few short weeks, I will be traveling to the Yucatan to do ceremony for the solstice. And I'm very excited about this with the Tosa group, Sri and Kira, and the many beautiful beings that are going to be gathering there to consecrate and clear and bless land there for a new temple site, for a beautiful pyramid of peace. So many things are happening. And so this is a timeline, this is a moment where we are bringing all of our best, our creative energies, all of the beautiful gifts that we have awakened within us and remembered as a part of what we're doing here and why we're here. We are celebrating and coming forward. And so, wherever you are on the planet, this is a moment to really align with higher frequencies and the portals that are open and available to bring in and download tremendous codes of light. So, the celebrations around the world that will be happening on the solstice, everyone connecting and all of those temples connecting. There was a time on the planet, and many times before that are not recorded in our recent history. There were times on the planet where the great temple sites, pyramids, were emitting frequencies and connecting and creating a grid of light around the world. So, connecting to that and remembering and opening, there are many different groups who are coming forward and releasing into the oceans and the mountains crystals and ceremony to bless and stabilize the earth in this new creation. So, the summer sun, the solstice, and keeping your eyes on the divine, trusting and surrendering. What does that mean? In this moment, there is a lot of change. And of all that's happening, to maintain stability within your being. So, in the shamanic cultures, the stability of the mesa, which that's one of the energies that I weave together. But my main mesa is a crystalline, universal shaman, cross cultural Pachacuti Mesa tradition. Comes from through a teaching from South America and the Quechua, and the many, many sacred ceremonies and ways of connecting and revering the earth, honoring the divine, balancing all of nature. Many of you who have been with me have been in ceremony, fire ceremonies, and sacred ceremonies for balancing and coming into harmony through the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, north, south, east, west, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, water, fire, earth, air, over and over, balancing Hanakpacha, the superior realms of light, Kaipacha, physical, Ukupacha, the within, aligning through the Trishul, the three, the Trinity, all the levels, so that as we hold our balance and stabilize, we clear the first three chakras, the old systems, and that's what's happening. There are many who are hanging on tight and for the traditional way. And I tell people, what I see most often is the hanging on tight, like let go, breathe, and let go, let go, let go. Take your grip off the rail, just let go and allow yourself allow yourself, it's almost like a free fall into let the soul lead. So, what does that mean? Keeping your eyes on the divine and letting the soul lead. When we tune in and hold our frequency and stability, and that's why I've created the card deck, the quantum card deck that I have, and teaching will be coming forward soon. So stay tuned for that at marimendoza.com. Excuse me, but what's coming forward is a balancing of how we honor the earth. And when we look at everything and we see beauty, and then when we open into our cosmic and lift up, that is what's important, is to, where is your gaze? Are you gazing at the news and at all that's falling away and the trouble and the strife and the trauma and the dance that's happening in the outer world? Are you connecting with that and hanging on to it and chewing on it and talking about it and all the structures? Or are you turning your attention to your creation energy and moving forward to the best of your ability? This is a challenging time, of course. To the best of your ability, how do you create? What are you creating? That creation energy is so important right now. You are a creative being. You have the power of the sun within you. That energy, when you fully align with that and surrender into trust, I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. Stepping into divine presence, who you are in your core, opening and lifting your attention to connect into the divine, opening to receive guidance, being still. The solstice sun is a still point. It is an absolute still point of balance in its own energy in that moment. It's a still point. And as we open to celebrate the codes that are coming in, if you are stable and have released your fear, your insecurity, your doubt to the best of your ability, when we clear that and trust that all is happening in divine timing, all is unfolding with grace and ease, all that you need is coming, you will step forward. And that is, this particular painting behind me, those stairs, that is climbing in trust through the many layers and releasing the veils. All the different cultures have that teaching around releasing the veil and stepping into yet another awareness, consciousness. So what is being revealed to you now? As you climb those stairs and enter through that gate, as you move through the different levels, this energy is all about celebration, all about holding a vision. And the portals, these portals that allow us through sound, through consciousness and awareness, they allow us to vibrate and shift through dimensions. Now, how do you do that? Someone asked me, how do you shift through a dimension? The shamans of old and many different teachers who are working with quantum energy have always known how to shift consciousness into a new level of awareness. Some of that is through the ancient yogic traditions, through breathing, through preparation in many ceremonies and cleansing, sweat lodge. There are many different ways, fasting. There's a lot of different ways to shift and clean up your vibration and prepare yourself. So this path has been one of tremendous discipline and incredible gifts and discovery and celebration and remembering for me. Some of it very, tenacity is the word of the day, to keep going in the moments when you just feel like you can't go anymore, to continue forward and to release the old ideas and to be on the borderlands of sanity, to feel at sometimes like you're not really sure what's going on. and old stuff is coming up, and noticing that and witnessing, oh, that's a really old pattern, and stepping back from it and releasing. I am choosing something new. I am choosing to lift my vision instead of focusing on what is being dissolved and released, what is releasing in this moment and transforming, to keep my eyes on the divine and lift up and hold a vision for the highest potential, that which is opening. So in the creative process, if those of you that are familiar with that, it's not just painting, it could be baking, you could be creative with numbers. Many people think, well, I'm not creative. You are absolutely creative. And the energy that you carry in your body to create, we are all creator beings. We came here to create through clear vision, through our desire, through our love, through higher connection and consciousness. We came here to create. And so, looking around, noticing what we have created, what is it that's coming forward? What will you release? Oh, okay, this no longer serves. Stepping forward, going up the gates, going up those stairs through those gateways into the cosmos. That, on this painting behind me, or you may look on my store, on my website, marimendoza.com. I have the cards, but I also have the paintings available. That gateway was the gateway of the sun, and juxtaposed also on that Egyptian energy. The portals were access and gateways into the stars. And the ancients knew about this. They knew how to travel and move into other dimensions and other instantaneously through wormholes, travel to different places on the earth, but also different places in the cosmos. And we are remembering that again. And some people travel easily, some people go in their dreams, some people have no idea what I'm talking about. It's okay. You do know. And as you slowly remember, you will absolutely open to new levels as you raise your frequency. So that's what this is about. The solstice is a time to celebrate the sun, to lift your frequency, to be in gratitude, to open and allow absolute celebration on all levels. So I want to add here, that the summer solstice, when I was in Lake Titicaca, that was a powerful, powerful time with the Earthkeeper group and Tiburon and Anne and the many people that traveled in that circle. That was an incredible time to open. And when I was there in Bolivia and Peru, I had a very distinct memory of my lifetimes before in those regions, and deep, deep levels of peace. And that peace came from the deep connection to the land. That peace came from the absolute knowing that this was such a gift to be here on this planet, that each moment was precious. So when we traveled from Tiwanaku to Lake Titicaca was a powerful, powerful energy point. And in South America, there are many. Lake Titicaca, very, very high frequency. The Andes there are 12th dimensional frequencies. We went to many different places in that region and did ceremony to honor and open. And the experience of opening through the gateway of the sun and connecting into crystalline cities above Lake Titicaca and these different temples, the big star gates. As you begin to hear this more and more, you might also remember part of that is just breathing into and remembering. Take a breath. As we saw the Abesa breath, Abe, that is a hail to the divine and a surrender. The Sa is a Sanskrit breath. It is a surrender into the energy of love, of the higher frequencies, of knowing, of yourself connecting in greater and deeper connection with who you actually really are. And so as we connect with our soul, we align and hold this energy. You know, this is really about coming back to who you are, to yourself, self with a capital S. When you live in the wisdom of self, that's your soul. You remember yourself. So you step away from the little human being that you are. You step away from that and remember yourself as a vast being of light. Sometimes in your day to day going about, you forget all about that. But in this moment, we are continuing and stepping more and more into the connection with our soul, our eternal self. And so that's why ceremonies, that's why these gateways to go and be in ceremony and connect and bring through those codes and anchor that light on the earth through our being. So each and every one of us is a divine conduit. We are each and every one of us connected. Sometimes it takes focus and awareness and complete trust. It takes focus to fully connect to our divine being. Sometimes we shut that down and we get caught up and distracted and pulled away from our center into the worldly events that are happening. We have to navigate the world. Some don't. Some stay very, very secluded and they do their work, like some of the monks in the temples in Tibet, and many who are working on many levels, just holding the vibration of compassion for the world, holding that energy. But those of us that are walking and navigating the world, we have to walk through density. And how do you stay connected to yourself and connected to your light and not get sucked into the drama that's happening all around you? Well, focus and attention and awareness, clearing up your vibration, noticing when you get triggered. And if you get triggered, noticing that that is a part of you that is showing. If you get triggered, there's something, whatever's being mirrored, it's showing you where you have perhaps a false belief, a habit, an old trauma, a wounding that is no longer valid. As we release and grieve the old world, as we let go slowly, letting go, letting go, letting go, as we heal, as we transmute and clear, put our old stuff into the fire, become willing to show up and let go and open to the divine and ask to be guided in whatever creation it is. It could be writing a book, it could be painting a painting, it could be baking the most incredible foods and breads, and or cooking. It could be with numbers, it could be some other creative endeavor, gardening, creating a business. As we are evolving, what is needed here is very high consciousness, because our creations reflect our consciousness. And to be able to hold the energy of love, to release the fear, to release those first three chakras, safety, sex, power. That's a really old paradigm. Those first three chakras will keep you limited and going around, around, around into an old energy rather than peace, love, joy. Those creation energies through the first three chakras, peace, that you have full peace as we're releasing the old, peace in your being. full, total peace that all is well. And love, the love in the sacral, that creation energy, love energy, creation, how you are creating and honoring life. And then the sacral, joy of being, connecting and trusting as you clear your wounds, your fear, as you clear all of that. Peace, love, joy opens you into the heart and opens you to help you lift and stabilize through the heart, because as we stabilize here, then we lift up. We're able to move into our cosmic chakras. We're able to move into what they call the divine galactic blueprint in the yoga of self-ascension, that energy to open through those portals and anchor that, stabilizing, so that we become, lightning rods, literally, absolute antennas for the divine. How are you doing this? Simply being in celebration, being in honoring. I heard this word this morning and I came across this word, veneration. What a beautiful word. When you are humble, when you are in absolute surrender to the absolute stunning beauty of this planet, the absolute miraculous energy that is available, all that's unfolding, the beauty of the guidance. And, for myself, when I first stepped on this path, I was very, uh, I won't even go into it. I've healed a lot of it, but there were a lot of times where I was trying to direct and control, and I had no idea what I was doing. And in my first early trainings with my healing protocols, I heard quite often through spirit, let go, get out of the way. And I had no idea what that meant. But over much time and many years, let go, get out of the way. I was blocking the creation by my own idea. And my ideas were limited by fear. My ideas were limited by something that had to go about the way that I wanted it to, because I had to be safe, and slowly over time, and especially because of wounding, and I had a lot of trauma to clear, wounding and old ideas and patterning and imprinting from many people and society and family and family of origin and ancestors, all of that energy coming through to now. Now I understand it's a privilege to be here and to cleanse and heal, because as I step forward and release my trauma and wounds, I am healing the future and the past. Many of you that work with me, you've heard me say this over and over, that as you heal your stuff, you will also create a new future. You will heal the future, your children even, and you will heal your parents, your grandparents. You will heal the past. In the shamanic cultures, they talk about, as you step forward, if the past is already gone, the present now is the future. If you bring the past with you, you will create the same past. And so it's so vitally important to release and in every moment be here now. Sound familiar? 1960s. And yet, how very true to be fully present and releasing everything and stepping into pure presence, pure light, moving up through those gateways into pure light and connecting with the divine. So, the practice of raising your frequency, the practice through breath or yoga or fasting or ceremony, all of it. How is your connection to the divine? How is your connection to who you actually are? And do you actually know who you are? No matter if that question brings up confusion or doubt or fear, take a breath. Be really present with you. You are an infinite being of light. And within you, you carry those codes. When those are unlocked, it can be a simple moment. You could be in the shower and have an aha moment. I have worried at many times about a project I had, and as a painter, as an artist, or even in ceremony, was presented with something. This is what we're doing: a structure, a project, and I would fret about it in the beginning. And as I was practicing my skills of creation, as I was practicing trusting, as I was practicing surrendering, um, I had to let go of being perfect. I had to let go of what I think I know. Many sweat lodges, many anipi, as they call them in the Lakota way, the sacred anipi, the lodge. I had to surrender and let go of everything that I thought I knew and come in empty. And that's where the creation starts. When you empty out everything you think you know, when you get out of the way and open, just simply open in celebration, open in reverence to that tremendous light. We cannot explain the infinite, nor should we really try to. But in this moment, to open to receive that. I have so many stories that are flowing through from different elders and experiences from just fascinating, miraculous things that have happened. I'm sure you have your own. When you notice the miracles in your life, that's what's powerful. When you celebrate, and that's coming back to the solstice sun. When you celebrate the miracles in your life, when you celebrate the gifts, when you bring that into your body, you hold a different frequency. When you're in fear and you're holding tight and you're creating resistance to change, then that's when you stop the creation. But this solstice is an opportunity. Every day is an opportunity, but this just magnifies everything. This is an opportunity to celebrate and to really step into your divine knowing, who you actually are, and open to what is coming in. Because always, where new codes are coming in, we are in a time like no other. As I have said many times, we are being shown that there are tremendous potentialities available, and as we move and hold and anchor the highest potential for ourselves, for our communities, for humanity, for the world. We came here to do this. Wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you may think, I am not that important. I don't really know anything about that. Yes, you do. When you love, you hold a vibration. To be able to hold now the vibration of love, unconditional love for ourselves, unconditional love for you, mercy on yourself, that you have come this far. And it may be challenging at times, but you have come this far, and to be able to hold your light and to step outside and greet the sun. And everywhere you go in your day, to spend a moment in reverence, in awe, in absolute awe of the beauty of creation, whatever's around you. I have been noticing quite often now. I work at We Care Spa in California. It's absolutely stunning, the property there, the mountains all around. We do much ceremony there. And when I open the door after a healing session and the light is so very clear, it's very palpable, the akash, the energy, the prana. And I open the door and there are beautiful, beautiful magenta and white flowers and yellow, and the sky is the most extraordinary blue. And it is stunning in that moment. And I know that that moment is because as we are stepping out of that healing chamber, we are holding that frequency of tremendous beauty, of divine resonance, of harmony, of absolute coherence. And to be able to stay in that healing moment, in that absolute miraculous energy of shift that causes that frequency of communion with the divine. So I feel very, very fortunate that I get to do what I do. I feel that energy when I'm painting and creating. I mean, currently I'm sitting in my studio and I am surrounded by the most extraordinary artwork. All of it came through vision, came through a prayer, came through a connection, uh, absolute surrender into opening to color and frequency and sound. And I often sing and chant while I'm painting. I am inspired, and it's because I get out of the way. It's because I open to beauty. It is because those frequencies come through me and I allow it. I allow it. And for so long, I'm very grateful. I was given. I've had so many miracles in my life. I was given full scholarship to art school in my early 20s, and that was a preparation for so much more. I was given so many tools there. Um, and many teachers who guided in really amazing ways that I remember. But I remember really early, before I really even stepped onto a healing path, I remember trying to figure out with the brain, trying to figure out what I should create, what I should paint, trying to mentalize it. And I didn't have the same kind of energy. I became technically very good. And those paintings that came through were amazing, but those were in moments of surrender. And then I worried and fretted about it for a while and then let go of it for some years and took a different path. And when I came back to this path, I wanted to bring that through and surrender. And I had to work through fear. So the creation energy, I had to work through fear of, oh my God, I'm going to ruin it. It's not going to be perfect. And I had plenty of opportunities doing wall finishings, and I ruined some what I thought would be amazing paintings and walls. And when I stepped back and redirected, those paintings and those wall finishings came through most extraordinary, and a new thing was birthed. So out of many mistakes, and now I know those are just lessons along the way, out of those came great beauty. So trying to hold on tight and keep things safe, and all of it, we surrender day by day, moment by moment, sometimes through our breath, as we are navigating this time. It's a powerful time, really powerful time. This is a time to remember yourself, to celebrate. I'm just looking at my notes because so much came through. Many, many years ago, I got to practice speaking from my heart. I got to practice and learn how to do ceremony and allow spirit to flow through. And so much of the time now, I will not remember. And yet, what comes through is absolutely perfect. And the frequencies and the energy. And so I allow the divine to speak through me. I allow the divine to paint through me. I allow the divine to sing through me. That is an energy that, once you trust that, I had an image, not an image, I had a dream. I had asked many years ago, and this energy here of this solar gateway, Inti Taita, the sun, this gateway of the Hathors, this gateway of the fire, this is a powerful energy. Sekhmet, divine Sekhmet, the fire, and the Hathor, that solar consciousness. Hathor is the guardian of many things, but the most exquisite beings that I was able to really tune into and connect to early in my path. And they taught me about sound. They brought through the frequencies, and I had to surrender over and over to that energy. And I learned a lot, and I had a lot of cleansing and purification as a result of that. But at one point in my path, I asked about singing because I never thought of myself as a singer, but I continued to sing and began to see sound as I was singing and saw color. And if you're familiar with synesthesia, that's not such a bizarre or remote concept. But many people have that where they see sound or they hear colors or vibration. I mean, we are opening our capacity to remember on so many levels. We're just tapping in again, as we open up. But as I was asking about sound and singing, I asked, well, should I go? I said in prayer, and somebody had suggested go get singing lessons. And I said in prayer and asked, I don't know, should I asked the divine, I asked my guide, should I go and get training in singing? And I had been singing and chanting a lot, and a beautiful opera singer at one of the Tiburon events in the Earthkeeper had suggested to me, to sing with songs that I really liked and to match the key, and that I would heal my voice in that way. And that was a gift always. When you are present and paying attention, the messages you need come through spirit. Could be through a child, could be through a banner on the bus going by. But when you're present, you get the guidance when you are open and receptive. And so I sang and I chanted, and then I had this dream after prayer and asking, putting it out into the universe. Should I take singing lessons? And this most profound lucid dream came forward. I found myself standing in front of these two beautiful, exquisite beings who were the most exquisite energy. And they were Hathors. They were golden and pink and white. And I knew their energy. I knew their frequency. And they were tremendous, tremendous. And they were radiating tremendous light. And I asked, they said, you're asking about singing. And I said, yes, should I take lessons? And they said, open your mouth. And they went behind me. And as I opened my mouth, the most exquisite sound came through. It came through in frequency and vibration. And it was the most extraordinary energy I've ever experienced. And to speak about it feels so flat compared to that experience. And yet the gifts that come through us, I had many other dreams around sound. So a lot of my training was through spirit, through my guardians that came through, who still continue to surround me and teach me and come in at different points. Many of you have had sessions with me, have experienced those moments. So from then on, I opened and allowed, and all the way back now, again, to keep your eyes on the divine. Where is your focus? Where are you holding your attention? Creation is love. Joy is love. Peace is love. It's all those different qualities that you hold in your heart. And when you trust and surrender, even for a moment, when you let go and you do something different, change directions. As I learned many years ago, contrary action. Sometimes the thing that you're going to do feels heavy and dense and doesn't You know that it's not where you should be going or what you should be doing. You know that it's a really old behavior, contrary action. What will you do that's different and shift out of that? You take a breath, disconnect from that old, change direction. You can change direction at any time. And that's what bringing your hand to your heart, connecting into your soul energy, because that's where it is. It's not out there somewhere. It is here now. As you tune in, take a breath. You have it right within you. And when you're aligned through the core of your being, open and trusting surrender. This solstice, find a place, find a moment, connect with friends, get together, go to the beach or watch a sunrise. Go out in nature and be reverent. Notice the sacred, holy, holy energy that is unfolding before you as the sun rises or sun sets, the water, the fire, the earth, the air, you, the center, spirit. This is a time for great celebration and elevating all of that, honoring all of that. As we transmute and clear, the earth is shifting and rumbling and rolling and clearing, honoring that all is unfolding in perfect ways. And that as we hold the focus for the divine vision, holding the vision of the highest potential for humanity, for ourselves, for the earth, that as we hold that potential of great beauty, clean water, clean air, healthy trees, healthy land, beautiful animals, healthy children, laughing and playing, respect of the elders, honoring the knowledge that comes forward from all that you might encounter, including those who are carrying a lesser vibration, a dark vibration, a shadow self. They are forgetting who they are. They are not wrong or bad. They have simply forgotten who they are. Uplift everyone. We are in a time of great change and transformation. Hold that beauty and love. Many are struggling. Lift, offer light. Hold that light so that many can maybe catch that light and be inspired. Ia Nunai, illuminated soul, inspiration from Inti, the sun, that gateway of the sun, Iari, the first ray of light. Catch that wave, catch that beauty, that beautiful ray of light that comes over the horizon. That's a power energy. When you catch that light, the elders, and when I traveled with the medicine wheel and many elders, that first ray of light over the horizon, or at the end of the day, over the ocean even, a flash of green comes across. That is power. So to gather that power and open to it, celebrate that we have the capacity to drink this light into our cells, into our nervous system. We are always metabolizing light through our pineal, the brain, our skin, our food, our eyes. Breathe in light and recognize you are that light. I think that's enough for me now. I am most grateful that you joined me today. At any time when you're watching this, know that you can start again. There is always a new moment, always a new moment. And you might find that those get closer and closer together, that you are in that continual excitement and beauty of the imagination of creativity and play. Ever see a child who is inspired? Match that energy, open to that inspiration that brings forth great beauty. Tap in, tune in, who you really are. A soul, a great soul, a vast being of light, here to help and assist the evolution of this moment. I honor and love you so much. Thank you for joining in here. Go to my website, marimendoza.com. Sign up for my newsletters. More is coming. I so appreciate you being here. with great love. It is finished in beauty. Beauty before us, beauty behind, beauty to the left, beauty to the right, beauty above, below, beauty all around, beauty within. I honor the light within. Namaste. And so it is.